A lot of people don't realize that rest areas can be haunted too. Now, one of the most haunted rest areas in the United States sits between the border of Idaho and Montana on Interstate 90. It's this beautiful rest area that even has individual private stalls. However, it is very creepy. Um, in fact, in 2021, there were two students who went out hiking right next to this rest area, and their bodies were found several weeks later. They had apparently committed suicide. And this place is notorious for strange things happening. Now, one story that I heard from this rest area was there was a truck driver, and he pulls in one night, and he thinks it's odd because he notices like there is no vehicles there at the rest area. He's the only one there. So he gets out of his truck and starts heading towards the building to go use the restroom when he sees a person staring out the window. And the person just turns and then just walks away. So he gets inside the building and he finds one of the private stalls, and he goes in there and closes the door and everything. And as he sits down, right, about 20, 30 seconds later, he hears, the door jiggling, and someone's trying to get in the door. And he's like, "Hey, I'm in here." And it stops. And about, another 20, 30 seconds later, it starts again. Someone's trying to get in there. So he pulls his pants up and runs to the door, opens it, looks, there's absolutely no one there. He goes outside to the rest area. There's no cars there yet. And he looks around the entire parking lot. No one's outside. Well, he sits in his truck and waits until someone else comes. And it happens to be another truck driver. And he sees this truck driver get out of his vehicle. He goes inside. And about a couple minutes later, this truck driver comes running out with a scared look on his face. So he waves this truck driver over to his truck, and he's like, "Hey, did you have something weird happen to you in there?" And the guy's like, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I was in the bathroom, and there was a woman standing in the mirror, but she wasn't in the bathroom." So he, gets in his truck. This guy gets in his truck, and they get out of there. And that's just one of the many creepy things that happen at this rest area. There's another story about a rest area in Kansas. Now, this guy, he's driving. It starts to get late. He's getting a little tired. And he's on kind of this back rural highway. And he's like, I need to get off the road and get some sleep. So he sees a sign for a rest area. And he pulls in off the interchange and starts driving up to this old-looking rest area from the 50s, 60s kind of look. And he notices all the vehicles that are parked in the parking lot are vehicles from like the 50s and the 60s. And he's like, is there some kind of retro thing going on today or something? So he gets out and he notices there's all these people there, but they're all kind of just wandering around aimlessly, almost like they're, zombies. And they're just kind of, walking really strange. So he goes inside this old building, and there's a woman in there, and she's turned around. And he goes up to this woman, he taps her on the back, and he says, "Is there like some kind of retro thing going on in town?" She turns around, and that's when he sees that she has no eyes. And he's freaked out at this point. He runs out, gets in his car, and starts driving as fast as he can. And as he's leaving the interchange, his tire gets damaged on the curve. And a couple miles down the road, he ends up having to pull over and call a tow truck. Now, the tow truck comes, and they get him all hooked up to the truck. The tow truck driver's like, "Where did this happen at?" And he goes, "At the rest area a couple miles back." And the truck driver the tow truck driver looks at him and is like, "There is no rest area around here for 80 miles. So I don't know what you're talking about." And so after he gets his vehicle fixed, he drives back to this rest area, except where the rest area should have been, it was just a big open field. And it looked like something had been there before, but it was torn down. And these are some of the creepy stories at rest areas across the United States.